We're going to be just a little bit in 16. Back and forth. Perfect. I can see it. Then Job replied, I have heard many things like these. You are miserable comforters, all of you. Will your long-winded speeches never end? What ails you that you keep on arguing? I also could speak like you. If you were in my place, I could make fine speeches against you and shake my head at you. But my mouth would encourage you. Comfort from my lips would bring you relief. Go ahead and sit back down again. This particular portion of scripture, reminds me of a gentleman we all know. He's full of advice about everything. He's not very good at anything, but he's very filled with advice. And he'll tell you exactly what you should be doing and how you should do it. Nod your head. Sometimes they are too much. They mean well, but they are terrible comforters. Sometimes it's just, I can't be around them. I have to leave the room because they're just bringing me down that much. Sometimes I can't answer the phone when they call, or I give the phone to Dan because he doesn't get the hit that I get. But it's just, they have to go on and on about how many things I've done wrong in my life and how perfect they are. And this is where Job is. He's rejecting his friend's advice. He's fighting back in the situation. He's raising his voice. He's not hitting them, not anything like it. He's just stating his case. Can you hear it? Leave me alone. Just shut up. Because sometimes we just have to tell that person to stop, or they're going to keep going on and on and on. And all it does is aggravate us more and more. People just don't know when to close their mouths. I'm going to hold it. When you have a job, you have that one person at your job, doesn't have to be a manager or a supervisor, that one person that knows everything and tells you how you should be doing it. Dan's been in his job for 32 years, but there's always a new truck driver that says, Dan, you should do it like this. You would think after the first 30 couple years, you catch on. Nope. Dan, you need to do this. Things will go faster. Things will go better. But Dan doesn't say stuff to people. He brings it home and yells at me. This so-and-so did this. Can you believe that guy said this to me? Oh, my God. Oh, did you quit? No. Then shut up. I don't want to hear it. It's how we'll get along. But I want to look at Psalms 109:25. This is David talking, but it's all of us have been through this. I am the object of scorn to my accusers. When they see me, they shake their heads. Now, if you haven't had people shake their heads at you, you need to go out in public and meet more people. It's that simple. People are mean. They are very mean. Sometimes it's unintentional that they do this stuff to you. I get it a lot because we are up to 4 women pastors on the district now in the state of Wisconsin. So that means out of 40, there's 4 of us. And there's only one of us that's got a big mouth. I didn't say it was me, but you can just assume that. That's fine. And I get a lot of head shaking from the guys. Does she have to talk again? What is she doing this time? But David here tells us that we cannot repay our friends, neighbors, enemies' actions with the same actions back. We need to maintain integrity and compassion and faith, even when we have been wronged. I'll hold the button, because it's really hard. We need to trust in God's timing and rely on his justice, not ours. And we need to continue to act righteously. Because I won't lie, there are some people I want to punch right here. Put on a really big ring and really do sometimes, okay? And David's saying, if I was in your place, if the situation was reversed, I would comfort you. But what are you doing to me? Job knew that the best comfort someone can give another person is to put yourself in their place and encourage them. But we don't like to do that. When I was in the office last night, this gentleman was talking about being depressed. I'm like, I have never been depressed. I don't know what that's like. I can only help you so much because I've never suffered from depression. But we need to find somebody who has so we can work with you. And he's like, I just give up. I just give up sometimes. I've never been in that position either, but I want to give up. But that's okay. We're going to read verses 6 through, 12, 13, 14 next. I put it in big blocks so we can understand it. So start at 6, Courtney, please. Again, Job is a very long book, but he says, yet if I speak, my pain is not relieved. And if I refrain, it does not go away. Surely, God, you have worn me out. You have devastated my entire household. You have shriveled me up, and it has become a witness. My gauntness rises up and testifies against me. God assails me and tears me in his anger and gnashes his teeth at me. My opponents fasten on me his piercing eyes. Boy. People open their mouths and jeer at me. They strike my cheek in scorn and unite together against me. God has turned me over to the ungodly and thrown me into the clutches of the wicked. All was well with me, but he shattered me. He seized me by the neck and crushed me. He has made me the target. His archers surround me. With pity, he pierces my kidneys and spills my gall on the ground. Again and again, he bursts up upon me. He rushes at me like a warrior. Okay, I give up. I'm Job. I just gave up on everything. Think about that. The world is completely against me. Everything in the world is coming at me at the same time. My friends, my neighbors, my enemies. I feel like God's after me too. So I'm just going to give up and sit over here and have a pity party. I'm going to wait for someone to comfort me. But the way it's going, I got nothing. I got no one. I just feel like I'm being swallowed whole, and I'm ready to give up. All of us have been at this point sometimes. And now Job is even convinced that God has turned against him. And he tortures him. He sees all his torture as coming from God and ungodly men and women. The ones who are persecuting him beyond endurance. I'm going to stop right there. How many of us have felt like we've been persecuted beyond endurance? Like we can't take one more thing. Yeah, get the hands up. I get your text. I understand. Thank you. We go through these things. You kids are kind of young for this, but Miss Doris understands. She's not listening, but she understands. We go through these things, and our strength is completely gone. And when you get older like me, you sit in the recliner with your blanket, you turn the phone off, and you watch a movie. Because there's not one more thing I can do. I give up. I can't. And Job refers to God here as his adversary, not his protector or his friend. He believes God has shattered and shaken and shot at him and sliced him up. All of this in spite of the fact that he's done nothing wrong. This is Job's biggest hang-up. I've done nothing wrong, but I'm still being attacked every minute of every day. And I don't know how much more I can take. I do come home sometimes after a long day, say, Dan, I can't take any more of this. You got to take over. You started it, you're going to finish it. I can't. I'm too tired. I don't want to. I can't do one more thing. Then I'll sit in the recliner, forget to turn the phone off, and somebody will call me. A crying phone call for 2 hours. I'm convinced I can't do one more thing. But what I can do is sit and listen to that friend on the phone. Listen to what they're going through and be there for them. Then I realize that I'm just a big baby. I'm a spoiled big baby. And thank you. And it's true. It's absolutely true. And the more I work with people, the more I really do see that I'm a big spoiled brat. It's okay. Okay. Now, Job is just going on and on about what he's going through. He doesn't think he can suffer anymore. He can't stay silent for another minute. But it keeps going on. Okay? Next one, Courtney. He just keeps seeing life from the wrong side. He can't see the sun. He can't see the beauty. He can only see the darkness. I can't remember where I stopped. I have to wait for her. There we go. I have sewn sackcloth over my skin and buried my brow in dust. My face is red with weeping. Dark shadows ring my eyes. Yet my hands have been free of violence, and my prayer is pure. Earth, do not cover my blood. May my cry never be laid to rest. Even now, witnesses in heaven, my advocate is on high. My intercessor is my friend, as my eyes pour out tears to God. On behalf of a man who pleads with God as one who pleads for a friend. Only a few years will pass before I take the path of no return. So he just went from being angry and upset and believing God's attacking him to, I need you. You're the only one I can turn to, God. And in verse 15, he starts out with, he's sewn sackcloth on his body. He didn't just put the burlap on, he sewed it on, which means he's in a state of permanent mourning for his loss. He cannot get over it no matter how hard he tries. Normally, the cloth goes on for days, and you take it off and you move on. Job cannot do that. Now he says, I have no one to turn to except God. But he has been silent. He has not been there. I can't see him. I can't feel it. Yet he still appeals to him directly. We do the opposite. Well, God's not answering me. I got to make matters with my own hands. And then we screw it back up again. Okay? We screw things up more often than we want to admit. We race ahead of God and his plans. This last week, with the parking lot, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Every time I talk to Mr. Blacktop, he's like, I'm sorry. Stop apologizing. It's okay. I've waited 30 years for this parking lot to be done. Literally 30 years. If I can wait another week, I'll wait another week. That was not my timing. My timing would be last week, the day he said, but it didn't work that way. But sometimes we have to wait for God's timing, and that's the longest time we'll wait in our lives. Because we get so upset that things aren't happening our way. Again, big spoiled baby, so lots of things go my way. They go the opposite too. But Job is pleading now to God for a verdict of an innocent. What's the word I'm looking for? To declare him innocent on behalf of a friend or a neighbor in a court setting as a judge. Now he sees God as the judge, as his friend. So he just went one way to the other, bipolar, switching back and forth. Again, a lot like us. 1 minute we're good, the next minute we're in just pitiful shape. And we can't see anything going our way, that we are going to finally give up because people are in the way, not working out, and I don't want to wait anymore. In February, March, April, May, June, I started my federal background check at the halfway house. 5 months, I started my federal background check, which means I filled out 15 forms, and they did sets of fingerprints. I got a call, I had to go back and do it again. And I had to take credentials to prove that I was a pastor. This is the only time I've used my bachelor's degree. To take it down there and go, here it is, do something with it, I don't care. But 5 months is ridiculous, because if I were to get arrested today, they'd have me in jail today. They wouldn't let me wait 5 months. They'd throw me right in. But it's not in my timing again. So I have to wait. And I'm not good at that. We'll get you a megaphone next time. Amen. Here we are with Job. We're going to look at 17 now. Chapter 17. And just listening to him just breaks my heart sometimes, the way he's crying out to God. My spirit is broken. My days are cut short. The grave awaits me. Surely mockers surround me. My eyes must dwell on their hostility. Give me, O God, the pledge you demand. Who else will put up security for me? You have closed their minds to understanding. Therefore, you will not let them triumph. If anyone denounces their friends for reward, the eyes of their children will fail. God has made me a byword to everyone, a man whose face people spit. My eyes have grown dim with grief. My whole frame is but a shadow. The upright are appalled at this. The innocent are aroused against the ungodly. Nevertheless, the righteous will hold to their ways, and those with clean hands will grow stronger. But come on, all of you, try it again. I will not find a wise man among you. My days have passed, my plans are shattered, yet the desires of my heart turn night into day. In the face of darkness, light is near. He starts out bad. He starts off very depressed. And he goes back and forth the whole time. It's this, it's that. It's this, it's that. And if we ever think about what we're going through, when we are alone, we have all those thoughts in our heads. Yes, no, good, bad, can't do it, I give up. All the time. And if you're like me, which I hope you're not, you talk to yourself the whole time. It is a very long drive when I talk to myself on the way to Missouri. Because it's back and forth, Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? Should I do better? Can I do that? What about this? I'm a failure. Oh my gosh. It's terrible. And Job's broken spirit teeters on the edge of death. His friends are mocking him. He wants God alone to answer his case because his critics have proven themselves of no use. They're not. Job's 3 friends had a reputation of being wise. They had a reputation, but all they've shown is there's the other side. There was no wisdom in any of them. And I know if we think about it, we can think of people in our lives that think they're the smartest person that we know. That will tell you they're the smartest person, that they've been through everything, and they know everything, and you should do this. But the second they walk away from you, they do the opposite. They're so full of advice for us, but they never follow their own. Okay? Job's friends assumed, because they were successful in life, things were going their way, they weren't suffering like Job, that God was pleased with them. That's the end of their story. God's good with us. We're living our lives, right? You're the one that's wrong. But that simply is not how it goes. Job reminds his friends that they're focusing on the wrong things. Earthly success and prosperity are not a reward for faith in God. Trials and struggles are not a result of lack of faith. Should I hold it down? A wise person knows that wisdom comes from God alone. That's it. End of story. I can give you tons of books on psychology, on sociology, and you name it. I have them from school. They're of no use to me at all. None. But I got them. Because it was a requirement for school. And when you take when you take college courses, you basically just tell the instructor what they want to hear. Right or wrong, the instructor knows everything. So you just play that game, but they think you're the smartest person in the world. Again, this is why I was terrified to get that piece of paper, the bachelor's degree. Because if I get that, do I gotta exchange it for common sense? Because I don't want to do that. It was a very dark time, rough season. One class left, do I have to take it? Oh my God. Now, Job finds out that he and other righteous people find themselves in similar situations where they suffer and struggle. And this is a time when we must cling to God even more. When we're going through those times, we have nobody else to rely on. We have friends, we have people, but our comfort doesn't always come from them alone. It comes from God. We know he's the person we need to talk to. In 2 Corinthians, is it 2 Corinthians? Okay, 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 10, it says, "That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weakness, in insults, in hardships, in persecution, in difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong." I shouldn't have to push that. When we are conscious of our own weakness and nothingness, we are dependent on the power of God alone. When we realize that we really are nothing, we can realize that we can be something with him, through him. When we are completely dependent on God, we are truly strong. And I'm looking over this direction because if you ever lost a spouse, you lost a husband, you lost a job, you got hurt on the job, everything was going down into the gutter. But she kept trying to go forward. It was the most difficult thing you've ever done, to keep moving forward. But we have to. We have to keep going because it's the only way we're going to survive. But I can't say I can do this on my own because I know that I can't do anything. I can't. I'll go back to last night. I'm relatively intelligent, just medium. I can do this, Dan can't. But Dan can take a car apart and put it in a big box and shake it up and then put it back together again. He can't take pictures on his phone, so that's out. He doesn't have an instruction book, so that's out. He can just naturally do that. So if I say, Dan, can you help me with this? He's like, can you help me with the car? I'm like, no, I can't do that. One day he said, all right, we're going to rebuild this carburetor. I got to do what? We're going to rebuild carburetor. So we rebuilt the carburetor. Can I do it again? Absolutely not. No clue. No, none. Dan, I need help with this. Do I have to? Yep. I helped you. You helped me. Then it was New Year's Day in Wisconsin. So you know it's going to be cold and snowy. We had to put a belt on our van. 2-person job. One on the top looking down and one on the bottom looking up. We both found out that we're both idiots. Yelling at each other the whole time. We are Job's friends battling back and forth the entire time working on this car. But after we settled our arguments, what we're going to call them, our differences, it went like that. It was done. We knew we couldn't do it on our own. But if we worked together, we focused and prayed that it got done, it got done. That's simple. And this is where Job is. Now in in verse 13, he starts with, "If the only home I hope for is the grave, I will spread out my bed in the realm of darkness. If I say to corruption, you are my father, and to the worm, my mother or my sister, where then is my hope? Who can see anything for me? Will I go down to the gates of death? Will we descend together into the dust?" Again, he's back and forth and back and forth. Now he's willing to give up any hope of restoration in the future. He's given up on everything he once had. He's ready to start back over again. But now he just thinks of death and rest as the only way to escape this grief and pain. The person I spoke with last night is so depressed sometimes. That's all he can see. I wish I would just die. I wish I would just die in my sleep because I don't want to suffer. The reward Job's friends have promised him were all related to the present life. Right here, right now. They had no understanding of the possibility of life after death. This is where we have an advantage. Job didn't have one of these. It wasn't put together yet. We have this. We know how the story ends. We know what we got to do. We know the steps we have to take. But we don't do it. We need to start looking at the bigger picture. Not just here, but the bigger picture. We must not only evaluate our lives on the terms of this broken world, because if we focus on this world, we're gonna give up. We need to focus on the promises of God and his never-ending wonderful future for each one of us. That he has a plan if we believe in him, if we have faith. And it doesn't even take that much faith. It takes a little bit. But most of us don't even have that. And every chapter we read in Job, we see ourselves more as Job's friends than as Job. We see ourselves as, let me rephrase that. I see myself as not being very supportive to people. To not being there for others. That I'm just kind of stuck on myself sometimes. That's why I bring Dan along so you can encourage me. Amen. But we need to see that today is not the end of our life. And if today is the end of our life, we need to make sure we have our ducks in a row. That we are good to go at this moment in time. Years ago, I sat in a doctor's office with my mother. It was her first visit to a new doctor. And my mom was a huge drama queen. That tall, but huge drama. And the doctor starts looking at her chart, scrolling on the computer. The doctor says, oh my, oh my. Now she's leaning, oh my. Doctor says, I gotta sit down. Keep reading this. And my mom, and all her drama, and her one good hand, because she had strokes. Oh, well, if the good Lord wants me to take me, he should just take me. No, I'm done. Completely done. I forgot I was in the doctor's office. There's somebody else with us. And I went, listen, don't ever say that unless you are ready to go today. You're not ready to go. You don't have your ducks in a row. You don't have this or this. You need to shut up and pay attention. And I looked at the doctor and I said, I'm sorry, I need to go. I'll go in the hallway. And the doctor said, no, get back here. You stay right here. But she was such a drama queen. And she did not believe in God at all. Not one bit. She was every religion for 5 minutes when she was a kid. Because she came from a very poor family, and they would go to church to get food, donations, whatever the church could offer them. She went to a sermon once, and she remembered it the rest of her life. In heaven, there's 144,000 souls. Stop. Don't read the next line. Oh, no. Nope, that's it. Only 144,000 people are going to be there, so why would I try? People have been alive for this long. There's no hope for me, so why would I bother doing that? And that's how she lived her life. Why should I bother? She did, however, tell every doctor, every nurse, every intake person at nursing homes, hospitals, wherever, that she was a member of this church. So nobody would come into her room and bother her. She was very sneaky, very. But she lived her life with the perspective of Job's friends. And Job's depression right here, that what's the point? I got nothing going on. I'm just going to give up. But starting right now, with this minute, we need to decide, are we a follower? Do we have faith? Do we believe or not? Because if we're just going to stand on the edge of this pool, dipping our toes in, it's not going to do us any good. There's no use in dipping my toes in the pool. If I'm not going to jump in, there's no point. So we need to make sure that we're all in or out. It's that simple. But the choice is ours. We get to decide, and we get to make that personal choice. So, as we close today, the altars are open. If you can't kneel, you can use the first two pews. But don't wait another minute. This is a decision that needs to be made today. 100% today. So, again, I can't kneel at those pews. If I can't get back up again. I'm going to come down here with you guys. Remember, pews are open. Altar's open. Don't wait. Come on, let's go. Gracious Heavenly Father, once again we praise you and thank you for this time we have together. The time to learn more about your word, to see that we're all in the same boat, that you